so much for listening. This is Real Talk Spirit. Here we speak the truth, we see the truth, we know the truth, and we honor the truth. Let's begin. In the beginning, we have the World card, and that talks about everything you have worked for is coming together. Everything. I know you all have been hearing for a long time that whatever you do will work out. And that is the truth. The issue at hand has been cleared by you. Hence this past life situation. It does not only pertain to the relationship that is coming in towards you. And that could be anything. Or many different relationships, an entire rewiring of who is allowed to step into your life, especially in the end. There was a lot that had to be undone in order to create the new world. So yes, everything that you have worked for, everything that is coming has already been done on the inner planes of existence. We all know that life takes place inwardly first. So that is why you will forever have the World card, you will forever have the Sun card, and in the end, you do see that we have the Magician. The next card that we have is the Knight of Wands, and that talks about the fact that now is a good time to do what you want to do. That is the truth. You are to let nothing stop you. A lot of you have been noticing the energy of the fear when it comes to the things that you once were thinking about, and you would have, back then you would have procrastinated a bit, or something would have came in to stop that decision, but nothing's stopping it, because now is the time. Now is the time for you not to fear. And even if you do have any fear, do it anyway. It'll serve you really well in the end. The next card that we have is the Queen of Wands. It talks about the fact that you can always call on your natural confidence, no matter how you're feeling. Even if you're a bit anxious, it does not reflect on your outer personality, because you are so grounded. You are so connected. You are aligned because you choose to be. And your inward world shows your outward execution. We are the outward manifestations of L333, the Holy Trinity. Even if you're a bit shaky, that does not show in your outward persona. A lot of people wear masks, but your mask is the type where you still choose to stand strong, you still choose to love, and you know that it'll serve you to show up for yourself and others at the end of the day. So focus on your natural confidence. You being yourself is what the world needs right now. So just be you. That is your natural confidence. The next card that you have is the Wheel of Fortune. You have strength in new beginnings. The cycle restarts. So they're not talking about the cycles that were misaligned. They're talking about the cycles that you are now able to hold. Certain things may have fell flat for you, whether that be a business venture or, just a simple goal of yours. Now is the right time. The time is now. There is no time like now. Hence the Wheel of Fortune. And 10. On the card of the Wheel of Fortune, there is a number 10. You have been completing cycles left and right. The cycles that you needed to get out the way in order for this new beginning to occur. So all is in your favor. All is well. The next card that we have below the Wheel of Fortune is the Ace of Wands. When I spoke about you ending karmic cycles, this isn't your energy. The Ace of Wands in reverse That is not your energy. It talks about false start, vexation, cancellation, delays, misunderstandings. You had a lot of people around you who were, like I said yesterday, willing to misunderstand you. And some of them genuinely, because of where they were at on the timeline, they could not hear you. You forget sometimes that when you speak, in your presence alone brings certain angelic codes that may be too much for the souls who have chosen not to cultivate their own godhood, right? False start. A lot of them wanted you to believe that they were coming with an offering that was worth sustaining, but a lot of it was to steal, kill, and destroy, and that is the crime in the spiritual court. The delays, the vexation, a lot of them shamed you behind closed doors. I heard collusion. A lot of them, not just those within the governmental system. I'm talking about those within the family, the ones that have chosen the darkness for their soul, and that's fine. However, you don't have to be in the fire like that, in that aspect, because you are an eternal fire of your own right, and you have already been tried by fire. That is what you would call hell, and you are already heavenly, and so you are raising these energies to the heaven-like state in the crown. So you are ready for these new beginnings. You have already called it in. It is done. It is so. Ashe. Eternally. The next card that we have is the King of Wands. You are to use the dynamic energy of a leader. You are a natural born leader, 111. Now that means leaders always pay attention to their surroundings, assess the situation, assess themselves, and the standing of the entire orchestration, right? Whatever you do, whether you know it or not, people do follow. You are highly influential, not because you purposely, well, you have chosen that, but you don't do it on purpose. 808, it's a natural thing. So in this beginning, you are to be the natural born leader that you are. I know a lot of times people saw your information, or you just doing what you naturally do. They saw it as a threat, or you looking down upon them. That was not the situation at all. You were a messenger by the will and the way of El, and it was up to them of whether they were going to be a good person or not. And a lot of them have sided with the darkness because that is what their soul needs, and that is okay. But again, you don't have to stand in that anymore. The next card that we have is find work-life balance to protect your energy. Honestly, that card has been coming up a lot because a lot of you have been cultivating new creative ventures, the energy for that, and there have been a lot of different things called to you, because now at this time, each and every one of us are called to our rightful place, and hence why you had that is why you had the audit, right? Where everyone was tried, everyone was questioned, everyone was seen, illuminated by the moon and the sun, so that it is known where you are at, and so that now in the end, your placement is upon your own doing. So you are asked to allow yourself to just be sometimes. Sometimes, if not all the time. The creativity usually flows when you allow yourself to be. It is an eternal energy, and that too is your abundance. That is why I keep saying they, because there are many groups that have worked with darkness, right? And even if you carry dark energy, it is up to you whether to use it for good or bad. And even then, there is no such thing as good or bad. What I'm saying truly is you can either be of service or not. And to those who have chosen to not be of service, they create these things such as, you'll see it in your daily life. A lot of things are inauthentic food, inauthentic posters, you know what I mean? Just styles that are just, they don't allow, they created blockages. But you have placed yourself in a position inwardly, even if you haven't expressed it as of yet. You are being asked to express it through your creativity. That's why it's suggested that you allow yourself to just, sometimes like watch a movie, be funny, be your hilarious self, meditate, chat with your ancestors. Your ancestors talk to you through music, through jokes. They're really funny. And allow yourself to be goofy sometimes. It's okay to do that. You're not like a brick wall. You know what I mean? You're an ever-flowing energy, eternally. Ashe. The next card that we have is King of Cups, and it talks about support yourself before you can support others. I keep speaking about this because you guys always give and give and give, and you are placed in a position in different timelines, in different dimensions, in different areas. You balance the scales in ways people cannot see. That's why they see you. Sometimes you may be a little drained, right? So that's why this has been the timeline in which you call your power back eternally. Ashe. So you are to help yourself before you help others, because you can never pour from an empty cup ever. The last card, no. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So that talks about tyranny, disaster, self-destruction, chaos, weakness, lack of clarity. That is not your energy. And at one point, it was projected onto you because these groups, these organizations wanted that for you, with all the fear-mongering on the news, and those karmics in your family believing it. You know what I mean? And them sending chaos because they see you as stable. And so you balance out the energy. You don't have to do that for anybody or anyone anymore. Matter of fact, all those projections are also a crime in the spiritual court. So you are to continue releasing that. Take your time with yourself. And taking your time with yourself, you're healing your love. That is filling up your cup. Hence the King of Cups. And in the end, we have the Magician. All of this is your magic. This is what you're doing. You are raising the frequency. You are raising the energy, because now is the time. And you are doing it fast and effortlessly, because you have been rejuvenated. You have been vindicated. And you are recovering. So I use a telepathy deck because I wanted to give a visual a bit about why these energies have been coming at you for a long time. You have something great. You possess something great. It's not just for yourself. That's the thing that they don't see. 144, it is for the whole. 444, guidance. You give and receive guidance. And it is for the whole. You know that. You are built for that. That's why we have the union card. The union of divine soul counterparts is a miraculous event that begins when you least expect it. This is union within yourself, union within partnerships. A lot of you have a lot of love coming in all forms, because you are love and you vibrate at that frequency. Nothing is separate. You are separate from nothing. Like I said, those that believe in separation will have separate experiences in order to create the whole. (1111). 1111 is an important number for twin flames, symbolizing harmony, balance, and soulmates. You are bringing in all this love by way of your own vibration. You love yourself, those love you. It says it in the Bible. That's why everyone keeps saying these are biblical times, because the Bible simply states the state of consciousness that you are in. We read the Matthew, we read the Abraham, we talked about the Genesis. You do unto others as you would have unto you. Why? Because you are the creator. And so underneath the union card, we have the past life. A lot of these situations have been past life clearances. And even those that you would consider good, such as like, the converging of the unions, whether that be with yourself or with other people, they too are past lives, and you guys have been working together for the greater good for a long, long time. It says we reunite with our loved ones over and over in different lives. Indeed we do. Indeed we do. Now you had your experience where you had the misalignment, because those who chose not to overcome their karma from their past lives were susceptible to the darkness and the distortion, right? But you have chosen to state your case and go through those cycles and leave that, so that now leaves an imprint on them. So whatever timeline they're in, they can now work their way up by way of your sacrifice of being there. And then also, by you being there, it helped you in that moment, because you were also clearing aspects of yourself that you had to overcome that they didn't see. It was easy for them to paint you as a villain at the time, because you were standing your ground and choosing to vibrate high. It's a choice. 707. You are deserving of accolades for your mental, spiritual, psychological, and emotional well-being, because you chose to stand firm in your square through all of these energies. That is why it reminded me of the Seven of Wands when it came to the past life card. It says there may be challenges ahead, but you can face them. You are now uniting with people, institutions, and situations that can hold you, and you can hold it. You know what I mean? This is the time now. There is no time like now. Thank you so much for listening. May you see the truth, speak the truth, honor the truth, know the truth. Ashe, eternally. Thank you so much. Bye.